A $10 puzzle can keep you busy for 10 to 15 hours.
It's yoga for your mind.
And all 3 million puzzles in this factory could mean 45 million hours of staying busy. And that return on investment is why there's been a resurgence in puzzling among younger generations and people stuck at home during the pandemic.
Category of jigsaw puzzles has grown at a rate of about 25% over the last 5 years, and Buffalo Games has shouldered 80% of those growth dollars.
That's Nagendra, the CEO of Buffalo Games, the largest puzzle maker in North America.
We sell in over 30,000 locations across US and Canada, and we sell into Walmart, Target, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kroger, and others.
But this whole process only got harder during the pandemic. Because puzzling wasn't considered an essential service, the New York State mandate closed this factory in March, and Nagendra had to furlough some manufacturing personnel.
We were shut down for 2 excruciating months. Given our agility, given that we are a nimble business, we were able to modify some of our supply chain, and we started getting product from overseas.
But the team was able to continue designing puzzles from home. So when the Buffalo factory was given the green light to start manufacturing again,
we were humming from day one.
Today, due to the coronavirus, Buffalo Games is facing the largest demand spike it's ever seen. The company went from selling 1 million to 2 million puzzles a month. So how do they make sure no tiny piece falls through the cracks? Well, it all starts with the puzzle design. Buffalo Games has 6 full-time designers. Some of the puzzles start as sketches in-house, which are then digitized. For other puzzles, designers build upon famous works of art, like this one from artist Charles Wysocki. Here's the artist's original image.
So if you move across, you can see some of the things that we've added. We've added this anchor. We've added a beautiful sailing ship in the background. We're definitely not trying to change the original intent that Wysocki had for his piece. What we're trying to do is create a more engaging puzzling experience and to give those puzzlers those incremental victories.
Once they've got a design, the team will print it out and overlay a cut pattern on top
to see how the image is going to break into individual pieces.
They're looking to make sure there's no, say, giant unsolvable sections of blue.
You don't want to have an important element of the image cut off at the wrong spot.
And it's not an easy task.
A 1,000-piece puzzle, all 1,000 of those pieces would be unique. Our teams will look at each of those cuts just to make sure that it's got the right, the width and the angles to really give you that satisfying snap. You can actually pick up our puzzle and the pieces will hold together when you're completed.
This team created 500 new puzzle designs in a matter of months to meet the demand during the pandemic.
And that's about 2 to 3 times of what we would have done in a normal year.
Once the puzzle design is approved, it heads to manufacturing. Here, everything from 250-piece classic images to 2,000-piece Star Wars characters are cut up. The biggest puzzles can take about 30 hours to make, from an uncut image all the way to a finished puzzle. First, that uncut puzzle image comes in from the printing company in Canada.
This is about a week's worth of puzzle board.
That puzzle image is glued to a cardboard backing, so it's sturdy.
The mounted images are put aside until the glue is fully cured, usually a few days, before they're forwarded onto the cutting presses.
Then it's time for the puzzle images to be cut.
This is one of our cutting workstations. We take our puzzle mount, the images that are ready to be cut. They'll feed through the other side of the machine. Get cut into 1,000 pieces. We trim away the scrap automatically.
That scrap is launched from this machine into a recycling bin. What's left are thousands of puzzle pieces. They get blown apart and dropped into an awaiting box underneath. That box is folded together on the other side of the factory.
This die cutter cuts box board into box blanks, the main component of the puzzle boxes.
So how does Buffalo Games make sure no piece gets lost?
Each puzzle, after it's cut, goes through an automatic inspection system. Cameras are placed on the discharge of the cutting press to make sure every single piece has been cut clean and available for packaging. This is the finished puzzle on the discharge of the cutting press.
All those puzzle boxes are sealed up, stacked, and packaged together.
This machine is our automatic case packer. Automatically sorts the different images into the corrugated case, getting it ready for shipment.
Then they're sent across the street to the warehouse to await delivery.
This is about 400,000 puzzles in the facility. That's a couple weeks worth of shipments. Those are put in our warehouse and then packed out to our customers. Health screen all people visiting and entering the facility. We had to make modifications to our production schedules. I also had to redesign a few work centers to maximize social distancing throughout the workplace.
Even with all the pivots, Buffalo Games couldn't work fast enough to meet the demand of millennials and pandemic puzzlers.
With the increase in demand this year, we've been running the factory the full year, both before and after COVID, at 100% capacity.
We wish we had the product because we think the actual demand would have been about tenfold.
And even with a 2-month shutdown, Nagendra says the company will still double its sales for 2020.
As a result of COVID, we believe there's been a massive influx of new customers into the category. I'm talking about families that may have puzzles 10 years ago. There are people that have never puzzled in their lives, but I think there's going to be a robust demand for these products for a long time to come.